would you describe that individual?
The light was dim, so I can't be too direct about the color. It looked like he was wearing a gray outfit. The hair looked a bit reddish orangish, a little bit.
Did it look like a natural hair color to you?
No, it did not.
How would you describe that hair color?
I don't want to, probably a deeper carrot orange, should I say?
What did you observe about that individual sitting in front of you?
He was by himself, and at that time I was speculating what that person could have been doing by themselves, but I didn't read too much into it.
At some point in time, did that person ever move from their seat?
The majority of the time I was sitting there, he was sitting in a seat. When I got a message that my friend had arrived, and I noticed he got up and went towards the emergency exit on the right-hand side of the theater. And I noticed there was a cell phone in the hand, and it seemed, the way his body was positioned, it seemed like he was waiting for somebody to meet with him through the exit door, which I thought was strange. But at that same time, I was walking out to get my friend, so I wasn't paying too much attention to him.
Did you ever hear a phone ring?
No.
Did you ever hear a voice on the other end of the phone?
No.
How would you describe how that person was positioned in the exit door?
In the exit doorway, I know that the exit door was propped open by one foot, his right foot to be exact, and the left foot was on the inside of the building.
Could you see part of that person's body from where you were seated?
I can only see a side profile.
And was it the same person with the orange hair who had been sitting in front of you?
Yes.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would like to ask Mr. Gates to meet me up here, and we're going to use this as a door to demonstrate for the jury what he saw.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Gates, there is a cordless microphone up there. If you could grab that. All right. And if you could stand here, the theater door hinges this way. Mm-hmm. So if you could describe for the jury how the defendant's feet were placed in the doorway.
His right foot was propping the door open, and the cell phone, I can't remember if it was in the left or the right hand, but I do remember seeing a cell phone.
And this is how his body's positioned. So
Correct.
If the theater door...
Mr. Schmagoyer, hold on a second. Some of the jurors are saying that they can't see.
Okay, so if he was back further, would that help? Is this better? Okay. All right, so if you could describe that again, Mr. Gates.
So the right foot was propped, was holding the door propped open. It did swing open this way. And his body was leaning a little bit out towards the door. And I don't remember which hand the cell phone was in.
Was the cell phone up to his ear?
It was.
Okay. Now, if is this the area right here that is like the cubby hole that goes back in the theater?
Correct.
Seats would be back there.
Yes.
Now, approximately where in this room would you have been sitting in proximity to where this person in the doorway was?
Probably where that gentleman in the red shirt is, if I had to judge distance.
And that's about how far away you were that night when you saw this individual.
Mm-hmm.
Could you see that individual clearly?
No.
Okay. But could you see that figure clearly, and could you tell for certain that the door was open and propped?
I could tell for that the door was propped, and I could tell it was the same person, because I did remember seeing him getting up and go towards the door.